Marvel vs. DC is about to take on a whole new meaning at the movies as the Multiverse Wars are officially beginning.
Oh, it's on.
That's not going away anytime soon.
What's up, Comic Book Nation? BD here with a look ahead at the movie worlds for Marvel and DC, as both franchises are reaching pivotal points in their respective stories, and a multiverse war is officially upon us. The 2010s was the first big battle between Marvel and DC at the movies, and there's no arguing Marvel won this one. More than $15 billion at the box office, and the biggest movie of all time, the desire to have a shared cinematic universe became the next big thing following the monumental success of 2012's The Avengers. DC's attempt at it was a muddled vision, crossed between Zack Snyder's darker plans for characters like Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, and Warner Brothers' idea of making the movies pretty much apparently anything but what Zack was trying to make.
Good to see you playing well with others.
So now the Infinity Saga is behind us, and Zack Snyder's Justice League is going to end his era of the DCEU, so both franchises are looking to prove they are worth our time and dollars. As the slate of films has been laid out on both sides for the majority of the next 3 years, it was DC which struck first on the casting front to get the geek news story of the year out into the world, Michael Keaton reprising his role as Batman for 2022's The Flash. And by the way, props to my buddy Humberto Gonzalez for breaking this news. After sitting out the role for 30 years, Michael Keaton is returning to play Batman. It might be the geek news story of the decade, really.
I dig it.
As the story goes, this was going to be a role fulfilled by Jeffrey Dean Morgan's Thomas Wayne, but Warner Brothers is making every effort to start anew, distancing themselves from the previous works by Snyder and eager to counter the multiverse efforts which we are about to see from Marvel. This time around, instead of being reactive, it seems DC and Warner Brothers are being proactive. And here's Jeffrey Dean Morgan with what he has to say about the role.
Michael Keaton swooped in and took my gig. You know, ever since Zack Snyder walked away, my whole kind of bit in that world sort of walked away with him. Although there's always chat going on.
Sure.
So we'll see.
Keaton's Bruce Wayne returning inherently invites a cross-generational nostalgic excitement, and it's a huge first strike in the Multiverse War, which DC has already incorporated to their live-action properties when they introduced Ezra Miller's Barry Allen to Grant Gustin's Barry Allen during CW's Crisis crossover.
Found Barry Allen. No!
Imagine Keaton coming back and then throw in Christian Bale and now Ben Affleck if you really want to get crazy, and imagine them meeting Robert Pattinson's Batman at some point through a multiverse saga.
Who are you? I'm Batman.
That right there is a cross-generational multiverse dream, and people of literally every age would have a reason to be fired up about it. Brandon Routh already played another version of Superman after playing that hero in Superman Returns, so isn't it time Batman Return? I tried. Plus, the multiverse can allow Matt Reeves to develop a fully realized Gotham City in its own cinematic canon, which isn't impacted by Pattinson's Batman, interacted by other universes' characters and the stories happening over there. With DC acting first, the question is, can Marvel Studios match this move of Michael Keaton reprising the Batman role? The Marvel Cinematic Universe is a couple strokes behind DC's movie franchise on the multiverse front. Yeah, Marvel introduced the idea of the multiverse in Doctor Strange before Spider-Man Far From Home expounded upon the concept, only to frame the narrative as a lie from Mysterio. Marvel Comics fans and the many of us who watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse know full well that a multiverse works similarly to how Mysterio described, and now that idea is present for the $1 billion plus worth of mainstream audiences' minds, which watched Far From Home, but Marvel has not gone all in on the multiverse in the MCU's canon just yet. So, what is Marvel's move? Well, surely it has to be getting Tobey Maguire back as Spider-Man or Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine, right? I mean, throw in Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark from another multiverse and cast John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic in time for this all to cross over, and Marvel has something huge on their hands for a Secret Wars story, but this all requires a lot more moving mountains than what we already saw from DC to get that same excitement. The advantage Marvel has, should they not be able to literally get all of those stars to align, is the release dates of their multiverse content. WandaVision could arrive on Disney Plus as soon as this year, 2020, and a big and possibly spoilery casting rumor came out which could imply a major multiverse connection is upon us in that series, but because of how big a spoiler that would be, I don't want to mention it here. Meanwhile, Sam Raimi is directing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, due out early 2022. Raimi directed Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man trilogy, which feels like a bit more of a coincidence if you ask me, but then again, I've been home under quarantine for far too long, and nothing sounds too crazy to my mind anymore.
That guy's brain is a bag full of cats. You could smell crazy on him.
One thing is for sure, Kevin Feige already talked to Professor X actor Patrick Stewart about reprising his leader of the X-Men role, but it doesn't seem like Stewart or Hugh Jackman are interested after their brilliant finales in Logan. Plus, Jackman is already 51 years old right now. How much longer will he physically be capable of getting absolutely shredded to play Wolverine like he likes to? The bottom line here is that it is hard to imagine any other weapon in Marvel's arsenal with the cross-generational hype level to match that of Keaton reprising his role of Batman from 1989. Marvel's popular Netflix characters are already loosely in the MCU's main universe canon, and no one is really clamoring to see Lou Ferrigno play the Hulk again or to get Chris Evans back into his Johnny Storm role from those Fantastic Four movies.
Now picture that, but everywhere.
The best option might be to go in completely uncharted territory, making a new story instead of calling back on prior franchises. In the end, it's all going to come down to execution by the filmmakers. These franchises can bring back former actors into popular roles, head into all new multiverse territory like comics had to when these were new, or a bit of both, and there is only going to be one surefire winner when 2030 rolls around and we look back at the past decade of comic book movies. Us.
I never win anything.
What do you want to see from Marvel and DC in the next 10 years? Share your thoughts in the comments section or send them my way on Instagram at BrandonDavisBD. And head over to Comicbook.com for complete updates as all these movies start to finally roll out. I'm BD. I'll see you there.